Oh, yeah, we are back and we are live.
Yeah, we back,
How you doing, sir? Let's go.
man. I'm doing great, man. Just been a busy week, productive week, a little bit, challenging week, all around, even in the markets.
Handling.
Oh my God.
Man, I was like, I kept thinking every time I would look at that, I was like, I don't envy him this week, man, but then what's funny, true story, shout out everybody. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Monday. Once again, it is Visionary Value, getting your dollars and your week started off right because that's how we do it.
Yeah,
But
man.
I wanted to say, you were right. Like everything you've said, people are watching. Shout out, they're all there. Our original 5-6 shows. Everything you've said is right, man. You were like, don't panic, stay the course. Right now is actually a great time to invest. Now is a great time to find stocks you may be interested in that are a little lower. And in fact, if you're just new, you know what I mean, to this whole thing, and you understand, man, just you got to do something nowadays. The game has changed. You know, if you want a good retirement, you've got to be making your money work for your money, as T. Cron tells us. It's kind of his number one thing: make your money work for your money. I think that's, that's what got me excited in the jump. So that's what we were talking about and looking at here on that. So yeah, man, very, very happy about it. We got some stuff to check out, some information gonna look at. Here is there is keeping in the mix here. Here is uh
My
the
bad,
clip
man. I'm
there.
back. Yeah, my bad, man. I somehow the little thing just glitched out on me and I couldn't see nothing or hear I could hear you. So I just came out of the studio, came back in. My bad.
I ain't
If
mad
that
at you,
messed up
dog.
the recording, we can start again if you want, bro.
No, man. We're pros. You know how it is, man. I like a little bit of that. And then you see, I was just flowing and I was going to pop
Yeah,
this clip
yeah,
up for a minute and just kind of
right.
pop this little clip on, let the folks see this, because I think it's a good jumping off point of where we're kind of headed today in the overall. And this is this just in 11 trillion Charles Schwab to offer spot Bitcoin and crypto trading in 2026. So this is
Awesome.
basically, guys, Charles Schwab is getting into the Bitcoin market along with everybody else. But check this out.
All the big dogs
Trading
are,
in
all the
2020.
institutions are. That's the thing. Like Bitcoin is becoming widely accepted now. Like
Yeah.
before, it was just your average Joe. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The guy in the basement with a few dollars, ended up buying some cool little digital token. It's the new wave, 10 or 12 years ago or 13 years ago, whatever. Got them for dirt cheap. Got their Bitcoins for dirt cheap. Some were smart enough to hold on until now. And now those, Bitcoins that they probably got for less than $1 each are now worth 100K plus.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Can you imagine that?
I'll tell the story till I remember my first opportunity was literally in downtown Honolulu, actually in Chinatown, I want to say. And, on Nuuanu on like a Friday
Okay.
night, chilling, it used to be
Right.
Indigo. I don't know the name of it now. It used to be a cool restaurant bar called Indigo. We kick it out. Shout out
I
my
know
boy
where you're
J
talking
Rod
about.
managed it. And out on the backside of it was the pond and then the Hawaii Theater, right? There's a little park
Okay.
and the little pond right there, and then the Hawaii
Right.
Theater. So, yeah. So anyway, I remember sitting out there chilling, smoking a cigarette, probably. I mean, it might have been something Lolo. Anyway, sitting
Hey,
out there, and a
you do
friend of
what you
mine,
do.
you know how it is on Honolulu, man. There's cats like you. You will meet millionaires, soon to be millionaires, just cats on top of the next whatever the thing is, just on like you in hip hop, and now you in crypto. Like, you know what I mean? You're a perfect example of this. But walking around Honolulu, you don't roll in, you know what I mean, in like a $10 million car. You're not, you know what I mean, rolling with like 10 security. You're just,
No.
grabbing them on a poo and saying hey to the homies. People, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a millionaire. Never claimed to be.
Yet.
I don't be flossing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. down to earth individual, and I don't I don't have any reason to walk around with security. Now, there were points and times in life where, especially when we were doing these concerts and stuff, of course, you got to hire security, you know, bodyguards, whatever. Um, Shit, matter of fact, I remember speaking of security, not my security, but Little Wayne, man, when he came to Zanzibar for the after party after his concert at the Blaisdell Center, man, he had, I would say, I wasn't able to count exactly how many, but it was somewhere around 14 or 15 different uh, security guards that were literally surrounding him, and he was just standing in the middle of them as we were making our way up from the basement of like where the club was in Zanzibar. I didn't even know they had that little secret walkway to get from the bottom to the top right in the VIP. And yeah, so anyways, he had like 15 of them and they were strapped up. They had cargo pants. Every last one of them were strapped the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in this business, you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
well, and people don't understand a lot of times. I'm not saying it like if you had like someone like yourself, if people see you rolling with security at this point, it's probably because a promoter has invested a few $100,000 or, you know, at least a few tens of grands, if not a few $100,000 into you being healthy and safe and performing that night. You know what I mean? Or that next night,
right.
Or being available to produce, perform, whatever your contract is for that thing. And so it is in their best interest to protect their investment. Makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? So,
absolutely.
and then you just got paranoid. Then you just got paranoid. But, you know, Lil Wayne went to jail. So maybe, you know, he was onto something with all that. Maybe he needed that security. But my whole point, sorry, man, a little sidetrack.
Yeah,
G.
Yeah. But that's what we do, man. Whatever comes up, you know what I'm saying? We talk about it.
Well, I think that's why, man, the show is starting to be a hit. True stories, because we're like the realest folks who talk about what we talk about. You know, thank the Lord, man. I thank God for you know, being able to reconnect with you and work with you, man, and the time you give and all of this, man. But it's all a blessing. But I think that, you know, being honest and it's a hit is because, man, everybody that think about the people that talk finance. You know what I mean? It ain't guys like us. Right. It ain't guys that you go to the club with or hang out with, talk smack with, and you're like, you know. And then I think your you know, your life and the way you understand people is a real entry point. Like you're helping me and my family. You know what I mean? So awesome. I know you're doing it with other listeners, you know, as well, man. So
yeah, absolutely, man. I'm a people person. Like I've always been, and that's how I was able to do a lot of the things that I've done in the Hawaii hip hop scene, the promotions, just the shows, the club events, the concerts. I've helped, you know, people, you know, link up with other cats for collaborations on tracks, because of networking. Like, you know, you got to get out there. I was out there all the goddamn time. Way too much, to be honest, now that I look back. And just as like now it's the opposite for me, right? But at the same time, like back then, I was all about the networking. I was all about shaking hands, adding people on the MySpaces, the Facebooks, the social media, staying connected, and, you know, drop by their page, leave them a little message or something, like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know, if I felt like we could do something together, I'd present them with opportunities, you know what I'm saying, put it out there. It's just how it works, man. You got a network. They say your network determines your net worth.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And you know, being someone who's lost some weight, gain most of it back. but understanding that you've lost your weight, kept it off, you maintain and promote that healthy lifestyle. That means a lot to a lot of people, because health is a concern for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're the highest high-level athlete or you're just a dude trying to motivate yourself to get off the couch and get those steps in. Health affects all of us. We're all going to get sick. Absolutely. We're all, you know, our bodies are all going to do weird things. And the fact that you understand that from a very real place and you work past that, you know, I think that helps you be able to relate to people in a real way, man. And I think that's another reason why, you know, people, you know, like what we're doing. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Visionary value. To your point, everyone has to make health a priority at some point in life. If you don't do it now, it's gonna have you're gonna end up making a lot that your priority in the long run, where you're in the because when you're in the hospital on that bed fighting for your life, you're gonna be like, dang, I spent all my life scrolling through Facebook and going to work. I could have, spent a little time in the gym improving myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I had to do the
And
same thing and be real with myself. So yeah, that's how I'm where I'm at right now. But yeah, um, that's great. If I can help anybody in that aspect of their life, wonderful. That's exactly what I want to do.
that's cool, man. And you do. And that's the cool thing is like it's almost on accident. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
not out
yeah,
there
yeah.
being like, I'm a good person like me. You're like, hey man, pay
No.
attention, don't pay attention. We do got to get you a wife, but we're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get you a
Hey,
lady.
that was a funny, yeah. No, that was because my
Well, it's not
homegirl
like
had
you
chimed in.
don't. Yeah, no, it's not about lack of options for you, but I think for you, man, you look at things on an investment in value and time level because it's the best way to look at things. We just don't. You know what I mean? It works in a lot of people's benefit for us to only think about 5 minutes from now. But somebody like
Right,
you is like, man, the hour I spend investing in whatever it may be, my body, my health, a relationship, learning about a new stock, a new crypto coin, that hour is going to come back to me, in
oh,
manifest ways.
absolutely,
And I think
absolutely.
thinking like that, that's why you don't just, jump into any relationship, which is a good thing. It just doesn't even in the immediate always feel the best. And I get that,
Hey man, relationship shit. I just got out of a 6 year relationship about a year ago.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm kind of ready to hop back in, if I find something. But if not, I ain't too worried about it. But getting up there
I'm gonna hit
in
you with
that.
my advice, man. I'm gonna hit you with my advice.
All right.
Wait, wait. Look, man, ain't look, man, it's there's a big difference between getting a Costco membership, you know what I mean, buying a 6-course meal worth of food. You know how many groceries you got to buy to make a nice 6-course meal, and then making a delicious 6-course meal that feeds you like that you work out and work through and understand forever. Man, just wait, bro. Wait for the
Yeah,
right one because Lord
yeah,
knows
man.
if it ain't the right one, the cost of getting out of that is that's a over not worth the investment of getting in.
Nah,
I just
and
say
that's the
wait,
thing.
man, because you're gonna find one that's gonna blow your mind. You're like, everything I want. Are you sure? And it's gonna be
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Hey,
more importantly, it's gonna put up with you. So, oh yeah,
I thought I had found Shorty right the type that you're talking about right after touring, right actually during touring, and then we she came to Vegas afterwards and stuff like that. We yeah, but that turned out to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I
there's a
posted something
reason there's
yesterday.
drive-throughs. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
I
mean,
get
don't get me
where you
wrong,
got it.
bro. Like and there's probably girls right now that are watching this that have had situations with, um,
Friendships.
you know, but the girlfriend department very. I say I had like seven exes, seven relationships, but the rest is it's
Man,
rapper
yeah,
shit.
man.
You're always out there. You're meeting, you're greeting, you're yeeting and skeeting. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that's and man, live it, bro. I was later on in life. Yeah, I was well over 30 before I
Mhm.
settled down, and I'm not mad about it. And I tried to settle down before that, did not work. There was, you know what I mean? In my early 20s, I tried to settle down, did not work. And then I just
Yeah.
waited, bro, and it was on me.
Yeah,
I
what's
was not
crazy is
ready.
when you're younger, you feel like you got to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? It's now or never. But as you start progressing and it doesn't happen, you just start accepting the fact, and it's like, you know what? You don't want to push it. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to be stuck with in a situation for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Or you end up getting a divorce after getting married, and half your shit is gone. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like, nah, bro, I'm good. So yeah,
You become
when
one
it
of those
happens,
dudes
it
who just
happens.
gets really into local high school football. You're like, you must hate
Yeah, I
this,
mean,
bro.
hey,
No one cares that much about.
listen, in the pursuit of finding Mrs. Right, you got to work with Mrs. Right now. You know what I mean? That's
Oh,
just the way
absolutely.
it goes.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Well, man, you got to
But
stay
yeah,
in practice, right? Like, I
oh yeah,
mean, if you're a
oh yeah,
professional fighter, it's not like you never train unless you got a fight coming up. You got to stay in
oh yeah.
shape. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to stay sharp. Anyway, speaking of staying sharp, man, we're keeping y'all sharp on this money, and we're gonna break this down. This is a new big thing going on in altcoins, and well, it's an altcoin daily, pump, but basically, it's Charles Schwab is getting into the Bitcoin and crypto markets.
26. They're fully getting into crypto in 2026. Again, my friends, I don't think Bitcoin goes lower than 100 or even high 90s. This magic blue line is where Bitcoin starts its next big mega rally, just like right here, just like right here, even just like right here. Even knowing, taking a look at the Bitcoin halving index, price appreciation from each halving, this is us today. Look at how much we are underperforming. Look at how conservative the growth has been. This is actually a very healthy chart, in my opinion, especially knowing that this is the cycle where institutions have really...
What are you going to say? I'm sorry.
Huh?
What were you thinking? What are you going to say? I wanted to pull that one back real fast. So basically, this is the Bitcoin halving index. For those that don't know, this is a very important index in that it's, when Bitcoin basically, doubles, triples, quadruples. That's not the right way to say it. What's the right way to say it, man?
I mean, the official, what you're asking about, halving, or what does it have to do with the price, or what is the question?
Just
exactly?
when they're saying that it's expected to happen again soon, and to kind of tell people what Bitcoin halving is, what would be the definition of it? You know what I'm saying?
So the definition, what it is, the official definition, Bitcoin halving cuts the block reward, the actual number of new Bitcoin miners, and what they earn in half of the actual Bitcoin mining process. So when, let's say, when Bitcoin launched in 2009, miners earned 50 BTC per block. But after each halving, right, it kind of it cuts it in half, basically. So in 2012, it says 25 BTC instead of 50 BTC per block, so forth and so on. But basically what he's trying to say right here is where you see the drops, or when you see the drops, buy. Okay, because right now, like he said, it doesn't look like it's going to go any lower than 100K. Okay, 90 might even be 95 at the lowest. I don't think we're going to see 70, 60, 50 anymore.
Oh, never.
And if you do, gobble that stuff up, gobble it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't particularly pay too close attention to all these little, indexes as far as the halving goes. You let it, you let it happen. People like myself is a buy and hold. You know what I'm saying? If I see an opportunity to sell, make a trade, I'll take a profit and then buy back into it when it drops a little bit, if that's your strategy. But basically, yeah, the dude is right. I've been seeing a lot of articles out there talking about, I don't think it's going any lower than 100K. So people are kind of they're seeing that, hey, if it drops to 104K like it did the other day, this past week, right, buy in, because literally the next day it could go to 120,000. You know what I'm saying? Or blow past its all-time high.
Having this is us today. Look at how much we are under.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead. I didn't.
Yeah, no, while you talk, I just want to let that roll. This is the strategic reserve here that he rolled into, basically. Let me check that out real fast.
Really strongly began to onboard just in. Institutions now hold 10% of the ETH supply, 12.5 million ETH, or 10.3% of Ethereum's total supply, their biggest share.
Side note, this is my favorite coin. The Ethereum is my favorite coin because it's little brother, right? But it also just seems to be, while it's overall less, it's less volatile, it just seems more consistent. Now, in the long run, you probably will make more off of a Bitcoin than you will an Ethereum. But if you're looking for something more solid, maybe to convert traditional, say, retirements and stuff like that into, and you just want that to hold, to be your savings account, if you will, I love Ethereum for that. And it seems like Ethereum is the kind of what the governments and stuff like
Yeah,
currency people are using.
well, yeah, you can do a lot on the Ethereum platform. They have what's called like smart contracts, which are like basically, put it this way, they're like programs or apps that basically run on the blockchain themselves. So it allows people to build apps without like having to go through like a middleman. It enables them to enter the world of NFTs and DeFi and Web3 and all that, which is a whole another realm of stuff that I don't even really dive into. I don't mess with NFTs. I'm not going to do it. A lot of people lost a lot of money on NFTs in the past several years, within the last 4 years or something like that. It was the hottest thing for a little bit. Everybody started buying in that had that kind of money to spend. You're literally, the way I see it, you're paying tens and thousands, if not millions of dollars for a JPEG, a digital, picture. Like that's
yeah. And
but
that's
then evolved and done other things with the NFT model. But yeah, that's generally what they were doing. Like, you remember those apes and stuff, all those cool apes or whatever? Yeah, like everybody had one of those, and they got paid like a whole shitload of money, and they tanked in value. So nobody's talking about them anymore. They may resurge at some point. But yeah, that's what Ethereum is basically good for. Like they have a strong use case. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these other coins on the blockchain don't even have any real world utility. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Even though they're out there, they're just speculative shit coins is what you call them. So yeah,
Absolutely.
but
And
Ethereum
that kind of
definitely not that. That's number two. Yeah.
absolutely. And that brings me to my, next question, which is we've seen legit volatility. Like I said, every day this week, I've been like, man, poor T. You know what I mean? Like, my man, like, he's right, and that's got to feel good, but good night. You know what I mean? We're going way up and way down to come back to here. And I understand that's the game, but goodness, right?
It can be an emotional roller coaster, bro. And I'm telling you right now, like, when I first got into the market during the AMC squeeze back in like 2021, I bought in at $10, 10 and some change. I can't remember the exact entry price for AMC. I watched it go all the way up to $72 in June of 2021. And goddamn, I should have taken some profit because I was up a few $1,000s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only to watch that go right the fuck down to like, where did I sell it? I think I sold it at 22, something like that. Because I was like, yo, this is just bleeding out at this point. That was the highest. I genuinely thought, that was my first time being in the markets. I genuinely thought like it was going to $100 like everybody said it would. It went close, it was 72, you know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't know any better. Had I known, I would have sold around 70 and made a nice little chunk. But, it's an emotional roller coaster. From that lesson, or the lesson that I learned from that is, yeah, you can make money, but yeah, you can lose money too. You can't take it personal, or you can't take it to heart. People lose their whole house over this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's because they put way too much that they can't afford to lose in a bear market or a crash. You know what I'm saying? And they panic. They feel like it'll never come back. And sometimes they're right. Like, if you're holding crappy stocks or crypto that don't have the ability to rebound and bounce back and come back even stronger and go higher, then yeah, you should be worried. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is in your best interest to cut your losses while you can, but educate yourself, research, do some reading, you know what I'm saying, into your stock, into the crypto that you're holding, and then make your decision. Don't just go, oh my God, we're down 10% today, sell, because that's when you lose your ass, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't even give yourself a chance to come back. You might rebound, and you're going to hate yourself for it.
Yeah, and from what I'm learning from you, honestly, the best position, and I know not everybody can just take, they're just not in this position, right? Like, you can't take this position all the time, but if your crypto, if your main asset crypto goes down 10%, buy 10% more. Because even if it goes back to level, you're now 10% richer, basically, for the same price.
Yeah, exactly. So to what to Mike's point, what he's talking about is lowering your average cost on it. Now, I personally like to wait until it dips even further. Like I like to start dollar cost averaging into any of the stocks or cryptos that I mess with. If I really believe in it, I'm going to wait till it drops even further. 10% is not enough for me to buy more. I like it drop to like 20%, 30%. Actually, my buy zones are like 40 to 60%. Like if anything that I'm holding and anything related to crypto can be that volatile. You might be up 20% one day and down 30% the next day. That's just the nature of cryptocurrency, and that's just how it works. And now some stocks even on the market are like that. It's crazy. I mean, there's stocks that are running thousands of percent up in a day, short squeezing left and right. You know what I'm saying? So the markets in 2025 are nothing like the markets in like 2005 or like, 30, 40 years ago from what I'm reading up on, you know what I'm saying? They weren't that crazy volatile. Right now, everything moves on Trump's tweets. It's the craziest thing.
That's weird.
That's the
But in
reality.
fact, that's what I was
That's
going to ask.
crazy.
Like, what do you attribute the positive now, but overall instability or volatility of the market? And then what do you think the drivers of the recovery from, beginning of week to Friday close of business was?
So obviously we know it was that tariff talk again, right? Like the 100% tariffs on China, this, that, and the third. Then the government shutdown that's been going on this whole month of October. A lot of people are out of work. They're not able to pay their mortgages, their car notes, and stuff like that. I know a personal friend of mine that was messaged me on Facebook the other day. She said, "Man, I hope this money come in soon because we got savings, but we ain't really trying to dip into all that." You know what I'm saying? So, then I've seen other posts from people that are in the military, active, and even retired and stuff like that are just, it's bad right now. It's bad, So yeah, that definitely led to people selling off. There were a lot of forced liquidations. People are leverage heavy. It was all bad, man. It was all bad. But it kind of rebounded right towards the end of the week or whatever. Even going into Friday pre-market was horrible. It dipped again, of course. You know what I'm saying? Kind of came back a little bit during intraday, but there's a good possibility things may go even lower than this right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, also what's causing things to go lower is the uncertainty because the Fed, right? The whole rate cut situation, they dropped it by 25 basis points in September. They're expected to do at least a minimum of 25 basis points again. And they probably want to go with that safer move. It's not very aggressive. If they went like 50 points, like, dang, okay, now we're kind of aggressive, right? Because then it would be like 75 basis points. They're probably going to end up with a 25 because the government shut down and they can't get their numbers, right? Like you mentioned something about the non-farm payroll and stuff like that. They can't go off of that because they don't have the employees working to get those numbers to the Fed to research and look into and make their decision based on. So, but they do still have access to things like, unemployment records and stuff like that, and the numbers, other data that they can go off of, right? But because they can't get the precise, the actual data that they make their decisions on, usually they won't go aggressive, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Now there's some speculation that they may not cut anything at all and they blame it on the government shutdown because they don't have the numbers. Because their cuts or increases or holds are based on the numbers and inflation and stuff like that. Now, if inflation keeps going higher, they got to make a decision based on that. If the job market weakens further, they got to make a decision based off of that. So, if you ask me, they're probably going to just do another 25. Then for 2025, we might get like a 50 basis point rate cut. Hope.
Don't worry, man. Trump's gonna get that Venezuela oil. We'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making a political statement. I'm making a financial statement. But you know what I mean? That Venezuela oil is tough, man. Right.
It's tough. If you're a trader during this administration, bless your heart, man. Bless your heart, because
Well, no, and you said it because I was thinking, I was like, you were like Trump's tweets, and I was like, pop, okay. But but and I'm like, maybe, but I want to hear more, and I'm listening to you. And then you were like, and that would China. I was like, wait a minute. It legit turned when his tweets basically came out and is like, I'm sitting down with Xi next week, and we're pausing all of this BS until we get deeper into it. And then the market's pink. I was like,
I'm not making that up. That's the reality. There's memes out there that make
it's weird, right?
So, Donald Trump, like there's Donald Trump memes that have him like with a middle finger. You can generate anything on AI now that says "fuck your portfolio" and all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when the thing when they bombed the bombing went down earlier this year.
Yeah,
there were memes where it was literally like a missile hitting your laptop, just saying fuck your portfolio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what happens. The people are trading based on political tweets and whatever Trump's talking about or not talking about. Now, he's supposed to meet up with Chinese President Xi Jinping and within the next couple weeks. And if things go good, they announce something good, things are going to start skyrocketing again. Risk on. Right now, it's risk off. Just gold hit the highest it's ever been. It's now a $37 trillion market cap because of all the uncertainty at this time with the markets. Markets were also going down because the banking, there was a scare about, banks issuing really bad loans. But earnings in certain banks were actually painting a different picture, and they actually did good. So then it kind of went upwards a little bit. It rebounded. You know what I'm saying? That's where the rebound came from, because maybe it's not as bad as they think it is in the banking industry. So there were so many different factors that led to this particular crash this past week, and it might get worse. It might get worse before it gets any better. We're hoping for a Santa Claus rally like there always is at the end of the year, you know what I'm saying, in December. So,
well, and that's, the retail stocks always get that boom fourth quarter. And, with that, and that's something that no one's talked about. And I'm kind of digging, and all I'm getting is we don't have the information. And the good thing is it's kind of being held right at a stalemate, but transportation. So you're looking at oil, and we know oil is down, which is kind of an initial good thing, but also maybe, you know what I mean? We need that price to trade high. So we've got all those transportation and shipping costs and all of those stocks that are traded on that. We're just not getting that info because DOT is, that info is down. So I agree with you there. For someone thinking about like taking positions right now, what is wise currently in traditional stock? We'll get to crypto in a second, but what would you say is wise traditionally? Like energy? I don't know. I just feel like energy is solid, especially as winter comes, but I don't know.
You might be right. I don't actually have any energy stocks. I don't really. I'm tech heavy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good.
I love tech. I love tech. I feel like there has still a lot of room to grow, especially as AI is booming right now. I personally pick any of your Mag 7s if you want. You know what I'm saying? Your Amazons, your Metas, your Nvidias, your Apples, your Teslas. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mess with a lot. You might look into energy stocks. There's a lot of companies that have skyrocketed over the last 5 years since the COVID days. I remember Enphase was one of the big ones. I don't think they're doing much anymore. I don't know. If you ask me where I'm putting my money, tech. You know what I'm saying? Because that, and also technology that's coming about because of AI in the medical realm. You know what I'm saying? Like biopharma companies and stuff like that. I know that those are doing some numbers right now. Quantum computing, actually. Oh my God, I'm so mad at myself.
Okay,
had
let's
a, I
talk
had a
about
few
that.
quantum
Let's
computing.
go. Yeah.
I had a few quantum computing stocks, and right now, one of them that I bought into around $6 or $7. Let me pull up a chart real quick. D-Wave, D-Wave quantum computing. Oh, let's see. That shit's about like 20 some dollars right now, bro. And I sold. I sold at a profit, but I didn't hold on long enough. Rigetti. There's a Rigetti, let me pull up Rigetti Computing. Okay, that stock right now is up 4,744% in the last year.
Woo!
$4,000. Bro, last October it was 98 cents.
Ah,
Right now it's $47.48.
man.
But the high was $58. It went as high as $58 from 98 cents last year. So quantum computing is killing it right now. There's a lot of other stocks like quantum computing. No, actually, D-Wave is at $38 right now. I was off. So I had it and sold it way too early. You know what I'm saying? Bought in at around $6 and should have held on. Shit would be worth like almost $40 a share right now. So quantum computing is another one. Look into those. Yep, that's the one right there. D-Wave, QBTS.
Wow.
It makes me sick actually, because if you look at the charts, man, a year ago, this stock was like $1, and it's up 3,500+% right now in 1 year. In 1 year. Now your Nvidias aren't going to move like that. Your Teslas aren't going to move like that because they're bigger companies. These are really small market caps still. The bigger the company, the more shares that are out there, the harder it is, or the longer it takes the price to move upwards. But if it's a smaller float, you know, there's not that many shares out there. That's what drives the price up quicker, because people are willing to pay top dollar when it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So quantum computing, tech, you know, the medical companies that are benefiting from AI, like Kathy Wood, famous investor, she's always talking about those. Look into them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. Buy for cheap, hold on to good stocks, and sell it for higher. Don't buy high and sell low, people. Yep, there you go. IonQ, Rigetti, D-Wave. Look at that.
Quantum computing have served up an $875 million warning to Wall Street. And then the basic key points here. By one estimate, bro, I am so lucky to have you. Everybody, like, share, and subscribe to this man. And when we get his you know what I'm saying? When we get his you know, his locals going, where you can subscribe and get key points that he won't share with everyone, you're going to be lucky when you subscribe to that. But check this out. You're so right here. Key points. By one estimate, quantum computing can create up to $1 trillion in global economic value by 2035. So $1 trillion in 10 years. The real-world utility of quantum computing solutions, coupled with a handful of early collaborations, have investors excited about the future. You guys are talking to one right now. Let's go. However, the executives, directors, and beneficial owners of IonQ, Rigetti, D-Wave Quantum, and Quantum Computing Inc. are sending all the wrong signals. And there you go. And that is interesting. So they're saying that these guys aren't doing it right, and there's a better way to do it. This is the Motley Fool, guys. I recommend the Motley Fool. It's one of my favorite websites to go to just kind of look at this stuff, because it does what we try to do here, and that's break it down to, you know, an everyday guy kind of situation.
I definitely like Motley Fool. There's a lot of people that don't like them because they trash a lot of stocks, but I mean, I get it. I understand why. They're trying to keep you away from crappy investments, but at the same time, they probably benefit from the opposite too. And you know, they could easily play. You know, let's put it this way: there's always going to be bulls and bears, right? So they'll give you a good bear case every so often. They'll give really good bull cases as well. they have their own stocks that they want you to buy into and stuff like that. You know, they'll say, well, you know, you think this stock is going to skyrocket? Well, it wasn't on our list. Here's what we think. You know what I mean? So you subscribe, you know, pay into whatever they want you to pay into. So, but no, Motley Fool, I mess with them. I like them.
Yeah. Well, not terrible, but yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And they're not even saying you're wrong. They're just saying it might be other companies other than these guys.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It may not be these guys, the ones that are moving right now. It's the ones that aren't, you know, that we think are going to, I get it. Yeah. But they're right a lot of the times, but a lot of these, you know, are, Yeah,
I was just gonna say, but everything you're saying, they're absolutely agreeing with you on. It's just, you know, they got they got to keep their subscribership up. So, and if they go, we agree with everyone else, no one's gonna spend the, you know, $7 a month, $5 a month to get in their inbox.
Whatever they're asking for.
So they got to go. Here are these secret, you know, companies that are gonna do better. Maybe check it out. And fair. There's one more thing I had pulled up. I wanted to show you this clip right here. Bam. Let's make sure it's up. Okay. Yeah. And this is the guys talking. This is entertainment. Because you have a background in entertainment and an understanding of that world, right? Better than most folks. And we're in the, you know, the stocks and market world right now. You cash daddies, you know, with Sam, shout out my boy, Sam Tripoli. Wasn't able to connect last week, but he called me. We were trying to hook up. We're in the same town. We will be again soon. But Howie at the bottom is talking about, and they're talking about this new move with Paramount. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Just, you know, being a veteran of the entertainment business and, you know, somebody who, you know, has a real sharp understanding of what's going on.
Are you talking about the MTV
you know,
thing?
Yeah, check this out.
Yep.
We just handed Argentina a $20 billion check.
Yeah.
Taxes theft. But that's a whole nother thing.
Sure it is.
What other stories we got, Johnny? Oh, Paramount is going after more.
No, well, that they're not going to buy Warner Brothers. That's dead.
Well, that's they're trying to take it to
the story, Howie, before you shit on it.
Well, that's
like
not quite
colonizer.
Yeah, well, that's not quite true, Howie. It's they're now that got killed, they're taking it to the investors now, trying to get like a sort of a insurrection, you know. This is from Wall Street Journal yesterday. A battle for the future of Warner Brothers Discovery is brewing. Warner chief executive David Zaslav 4 months ago unveiled a plan to split the media giant into two, with its TV and movie studio. We know about that, and streaming and cable networks in another. Now David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison, the billionaire and the chief executive of Paramount, is making a play for all of Warner before it splits. Paramount in late September approached the company about a potential majority cash offer, heavily backed by the Ellisons. But Zaslav so far has resisted those overtures, but it sounds now the idea is, now that it kind of got killed, they're going to take it to investors, is what it sounds like. So
it looks highly doubtful. I mean, these companies they're so far behind. I mean, all you got to do is look at what Netflix has done, and I mean, Netflix is just they're dominating. They're dominating the streaming business. Stock's up 37% year to date. I actually sold it up. We were up, made a quick 10, 20%, and I sold it in the portfolio. Never had a chance to buy it back. It just went straight up.
I'm mad I didn't get it when it crashed.
Down a little bit.
Netflix
crashed. Netflix, let me tell you something. Netflix is well over 1,000. What is it, like 1,200? Let me actually look. NFLX, that's the ticker symbol. And NFLX, right? It crashed hard. It was around it was around almost $700 in October of 2021. And it went all the way down to like $170 some in July of 2022. They had some bad, I believe it was bad earnings or something. And now that $170 stock is worth $1,199 each. Just like he said, you just didn't have a chance to buy back in. I was dumb for not doing that, because when I saw it crash there, I didn't have that kind of money to put into it the way that I wanted to. So I didn't take a position. Plus, I was still just kind of new to this, and I was still figuring out how all of this works, and I just didn't pull the trigger, and now I regret it. Because my $170, $180 investment each share is now worth almost $1,200. It was higher earlier, you know what I'm saying? So Netflix is killing it.
You know, and once again, it's one of those, it's really hard to get into like a Netflix, right? And at this juncture, Paramount is doing their thing. Who else do you have? You have Hulu. You have companies like that. Would you recommend people maybe research that because there's some potential money there to be made? Or would you say maybe go ahead and stick with your tech stocks and your crypto? Because I'm kind of 100 on crypto right now. As we round the, that'll be the last question. And then just, what do you think about crypto right now? It comes back so quick. It seems to be so much less volatile than like any other stock if you're dealing with any of the solid coins now. So just, one, besides Netflix, is there a Disney, a Paramount, a company like that you think may be worth eyeing? And then, what do you think about how crypto is just like kind of become I almost see it killing the stock market, right? Because if you have value in your company, why wouldn't you, instead of have that value in US dollars or stock, have that value in crypto that is much more solid and backed on almost a more global, right, consistency than just say a stock that, if the New York Stock Exchange goes down, well, there you go, right, kind of thing.
Well, yeah. So it's getting everybody's trying to get into crypto now on some level, whether you're buying stock in companies that invest in crypto and you're not directly buying into crypto, or whether you're directly exposing yourself to crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any of your 4,000 other coins that are out there, your XRPs, your Solanas, your Doge, XLM, and whatever you're into, right? They are the hot new thing, and there's gonna be even more money poured into cryptocurrency as we go along. You'll see in the next 5 or 10 years. That's why some people speculate that Bitcoin might actually.
Oh, come on.
Actually go to $1 million. A Bitcoin.
Yeah.
$1 million per. No stock has ever done that. There's a stock, Berkshire Hathaway, that's like $700,000 a share. That barely trades any volume at all, because how many people have the ability to buy a $700,000 stock? That's a home each time, literally a big nice home at that. So to you, when you asked about should people be researching other companies in the streaming world, sure. I encourage research on every level. Just because I like tech, I don't need you to like tech. I'm just giving you, I'm just letting you know what I'm putting my money in. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like the most growth is. You know what I'm saying? I just told you about quantum computing. It went up 4,000% a share. One of those companies. The other one went up 3,500. Name stocks that move that much in a year. That means that your dollar investment could have turned into like $40, $50, $60, $70. You know what I'm saying? Like in a year. So that's crazy action. You know what I'm saying? So
look at that.
To me, that's where I want to. But do your research, man. This is what the show's all about, right? I'm not an expert guru. I'm just like your average dude, but I'm learning, and as I'm learning, I'm willing to share the gems that I know and learn more, even on this show, you know what I'm saying? And beyond. Like, I want to encourage people to take a dive, dip their toes in the water into investing, trading, whatever the case may be, to help set them up for the future, you know what I'm saying? And why I want to do that, I don't know. It's one of my passions, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love whatever I'm into. I love like sharing my knowledge to others with regards to that subject, whether it's hip hop, whether it's health, wealth, anything, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm learning, I'll share it with anybody. And so research, people, do your due diligence, and never, never, never blindly just jump into the market, because you can lose a lot, and I don't want people to lose. We all take losses, though. Just understand that in the stock market, it's not going to always just go up. So have that, have conviction, have that understanding, and happy investing. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all make some money.
Absolutely. And just a perfect thank you and cap off, talking about, because we got into these quantum computing level stocks. Ionic is up 633%, and that is the low boy. Rigetti up 6,770. D-Wave up 4,330. Quantum computing up 3,040, and they're all down for the year by 1 to 5%, but still up into the multiples of thousands. My man knows what he's talking about. Every Monday, keep it tuned here, and then like him on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your X's. Where can they find you, T-Cron?
Yep, just hit up the Facebook, the Instagram. My X account got hacked into a long time ago, just like my Instagram did. I started getting back on Instagram earlier this year. Same with the Facebook. So the Facebook hasn't been hacked. I'm glad. I still got all my contacts on there. But yeah, hit me up on the gram, t.qron. When I have the X up, we'll drop that link too. But just hit me on Facebook, t-qron. That's how you find me. Hit me a DM, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, like, share, all that good stuff.
It's a heck of a fun follow, man. And I'm glad you give us so much for free. Quite honestly, you give a lot of great information for free. And just whether it's just like an inspiring, positive word, some badass hip hop, which, by the way, your hip hop's blowing up. Congratulations there. Whatever it is, man, it's a great follow. Guys, make sure you follow the PT Pod wherever you love to follow things, mainly on your YouTube and your Rumbles, PT Pod. We have shows every night of the week. We love you. We want to thank you so much. We hope you have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. This has been Visionary Value.
Tuning in. We'll see you next time.
We are out.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.